everybody, it's Marla at Twinstrology. Welcome back. I thought it would be fun to pull some cards today, see what the story is with twin flame unions out there, and touch base with you guys because I know a lot of people are struggling with this eclipse energy. Before I get into the cards, I just want to remind everybody about the Twin Flame and Ascension Workshop in Niagara Falls. It's September 27th, 28th, and 29th in Niagara Falls, New York. It's on the United States side. And it's going to be co-hosted with me, Debbie Dubois at True Sacred Union, Kalina Melnar at Sacred Heart Ascension, and Robin Angie at Twinfinity. Those guys, all of them, my soul family, they're all awesome. Debbie has so much wisdom to share and really helping people get to the core of their triggers and their wounds. Kalina, of course, speaks all light languages. She's an amazing healer. She's going to be bringing in activations for all of us at the workshop. And Rob and Angie, twin flames in union after 17 years of separation. And now they are married. And I'm actually just got back from a trip to Calgary where I spent a week with Rob and Angie. And I just gotta say, like, their union, I've known them for 2 years now, and their union was really good 2 years ago, but now it's just incredible. They really, to me, epitomize what it means to be in a twin flame union, because they have this deep love for each other, but they don't have all these attachments. And they take the love that they have for each other and they share it with everyone around them. So come to the workshop. It's going to be great. Also, my last video, I announced that I am now doing quantum healing work, QHHT in person, and beyond quantum healing sessions online. And I announced that I was going to be in Pittsburgh, not this weekend, but next weekend. Those sessions are all booked now. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting everybody next weekend. And it looks like I'm going to be traveling someplace the last week of August, but Spirit hasn't really shown me where yet. So if you're interested in a quantum healing hypnosis session with me, stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I'm always doing sessions in Buffalo, New York, which is where I live. So you can always contact me about coming here, or we can talk about whether you're a candidate to do Beyond Quantum Healing, which is very similar to QHHT, but we can do that online. Okay, so let's talk about the energies. What is the overall energy of twin flame unions? Spiritual union. Sorry, I'm like really bad at filming videos this way, but I'm kind of in a hurry. And this is what I can do. Okay, so what a beautiful card to have for the overall energy. Now remember, the overall energy is the energy that's coming down from the higher dimensions, or that's coming in from our higher selves. So what this card is saying is that the spiritual union is happening. It has happened. Like last year even, there was such a deepening of the spiritual connection between twin flames. And this is going to be getting stronger still. Now, what came to me from my higher self yesterday was that what we really want to try to do as twins is focus right now on the spiritual union and drop the 3D union. Now, when I say things like that, I know it triggers a lot of you. So let me explain what I'm saying. Does that mean I'm saying forget about ever reuniting with your twin? No. But for this moment in time, this point in the ascension, because remember, we're in a massive timeline shift. This whole year has been one big massive timeline shift. And if you want to really facilitate that energy in your life, then focus on this, the spiritual union that you have with your twin. Because for most of you, I mean, there's some of you that are connected, that are in relationships, and that's great. But for a lot of you, you're not. And a lot of you are actually getting triggered and feeling like maybe this union isn't ever going to go anywhere. But if you focus on the spiritual connection, what is that going to do? It's going to raise your vibration. It's going to help you shift out of your ego, shift out of your fears. The only type of real, let me say this. We don't have many pure relationships out there to guide us, right? Most of us, when we think about a relationship, still have a lot of hang-ups to 3D templates. So when we think about the 3D aspect of twin flame unions, that's when we start to get triggered into the pain, the separation. Oh my God, we're not together. We might never be together. And you lower your vibration. Now, when you're in the middle of a timeline shift, you do not want to be in a lower vibration. You want to be in a higher vibration. So if you focus on this spiritual union, what happens? You go into your heart. You feel the love. Your heart opens. You drop all the anger because you go into this higher aspect of yourself. You recognize the higher purpose of your mission here and the higher purpose of twin flame union. And you pull yourself out of this ego concerns. So for now, focus on the spiritual union. This journey requires us to walk a very thin tightrope all the time. The tightrope of, I know I'm going to be with my twin. When is that going to happen? Or is it going to happen? It's really important right now to stay in the present moment. If you start projecting all your energy out to the future, you're going to get fears coming in. Okay? And again, it's going to lower your vibration. Stay in the moment. And when you stay in the moment, you're here. You're in the spiritual union. And you know that everything's going to be all right. So when I say these things, I'm not saying give up on your twin, forget about 3D union. But what I'm saying is that if you really want 3D union, you have to release any attachment to it. You have to accept the now moment. Find joy and happiness in the now moment. And when you can do that, that's your biggest opportunity to reach a place where you're going to come into any kind of spiritual union. Another aspect of the energy right now too is recognizing that we're in spiritual union with everybody. And by that I mean we're all one. We're all part of source energy. One big collective movement. And so that's another way to find this love, compassion within ourselves. So yeah, the energy from the higher self coming to earth is focus on the love, focus on the joy. Remember, we're going into the Lion's Gate. And that's all about being in our heart and choosing the higher vibration, choosing your ascension journey right now. And you can let go of this, because whatever's going to happen with this, with your, your physical union, whatever's going to happen to that is going to happen. You got to surrender to that. So your part of the journey is just to stay in the vibration of love. We also have the card wedding. This situation involves a marriage. This is the overall energy from the romance angels. And really, it's just echoing this. It's saying there's a sacred marriage here. There's a spiritual marriage. Embrace it. So many people fight it. They don't want it. If it's not going to be 3D, they want to push it away, and they don't want it to be part of their life because they feel it's a hindrance. You don't want to send out that message to the universe, because that's going to make it harder for you to manifest anything in your life. So, and this is actually a message that's been coming to me for a while. Like, we've got to love this spiritual place. It's the spiritual energy that's shifting us, that's creating our reality, that's shifting the timelines. If we're trying to get to the 5D, we don't want to stick around in the 3D all the time. Of course, we need to have a balance with that, because we don't want to be, we don't want to lose our sense of reality completely. But staying in the 5D helps us stay in our heart. And so then the other cards I want to talk about together. So what is positive in twin flame unions? Trapped in fear. Actually, I'll bring it up here so you can see it. What challenges twin flame unions? Suffering and silence. So you can probably see why I wanted to talk about these together, because they're like two sides of the same coin. We're releasing fears. What's positive in unions? We're letting go of some fears. These things were holding us back. These things are limiting us, right? They're like we're in jail if we're living in fear. But what challenges us? Suffering and silence, which this card represents, like having fear also, having anxiety, having fear of moving forward, sometimes having bad dreams or not being able to sleep from anxiety. So this release of fears right now is a double-edged sword. And these eclipses are pushing many people to release some big fears. Now, for some of you, it's not too hard. And for some of you, it's been difficult. But keep your perspective. You are allowing yourself to move forward with every fear you overcome. So for a lot of you, some past fears are likely revisiting you. Some challenges, things that you've maybe thought you overcome, and they're revisiting you. Or you're going through some kind of trigger with your twin in 3D. But this is going to get more intense, guys, because we are moving into the Lion's Gate, and we've got to be in our heart. And the fear stops us from being in our heart. I want to just read one paragraph from the book about those cards. It says, this card, meaning the 9 of Swords, follows trapped in fear, the number 8 mental card. This is the psychic tarot of the heart. They're called mental cards here. When your fears aren't confronted, your mental anguish will continue. This is a reminder to take action and trust that your soul and the power of spirit will grasp you firmly by the hand and guide you. But you must take the first step towards healing and let go of the mental distress. Don't suffer in silence. Reach out for help that's available. So you see what it's saying? It's reminding us that we have to take action. And in order to take action, we have to trust our soul. That means this. When we're in this, we're trusting our soul. So for some of you, especially regarding your union, you might be dealing with triggers and not feeling so good because you're purging things. And your higher self is reminding you that the spiritual connection is there. Your higher self is there. You're being guided. And it's safe for you to move forward. You don't have to struggle in this. Know that your team of spirit guides are around you. But also, if you need help, try to reach out to other people. So what do the romance angels say about what's positive in twin flame unions? Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So don't give up. Don't give up on releasing those limitations. It's going to be worth it. And the romance angels, for what's challenging to twins, is pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Well, the signs are cautioning you about this, being in fear. As I said, we want to do our very best to keep our vibration high. As I've said in the past, sometimes, we have to release emotional energy through a trigger, and that's okay. But the problem is that can, just carry on and on and on to where we have a really hard time getting out of it. So, and the signs are often there in support of us. I know I don't even have to say too much about that because you all get plenty of signs about what's happening. So how is this energy manifesting for us right now? The card is sacrifice. Well, we're all having to make sacrifices right now because we're all being asked to let go and being asked to make shifts, and it's hard work. Letting go of our limitations and our programs can really challenge us at times. But as a soul coming into this journey, you were willing to make the sacrifices that it took to come here and help with this ascension process. Letting go, of course, with this card, needing to change perspective. And when we let go of the limitations, our perspective changes. But, it's just like this is a nod from our higher self as well and our guide saying they know we're making a sacrifice right now. But we have to remember not to wallow. Things do get better, and the more we clear, the more joy, the more freedom we have in our life. And of course, one of the biggest sacrifices that we make as twin flames is not being together. At least most twins face a period of separation. Many of you are still in separation. And that's a sacrifice because on a soul level, you want to be together. on a soul level, just energetically, you want to come back together. So to have the separation, you're making a sacrifice. But be proud of the sacrifice you're making. See the bigger picture of everything that you're accomplishing. We are shifting Gaia. I want to just talk for a minute too about sacrifice, because we often think if we're carrying more of the divine feminine template, and that we're making this huge sacrifice, and well, my twin, they're just enjoying life, just going about their business, living it up, having a great time, while I'm over here making all the sacrifices. But you need to see a different perspective on that, because this is real. Spiritual union is real. And that union wants to manifest here in reality. So your twin is also making a big sacrifice, because on a soul level, they want to be with you. Do you think they want to be in their situation? Do you think they want to not be living their truth and struggling? So both partners are making sacrifices in their own way. The card for how this is manifesting from the romance angels is keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectation. So basically also saying you're breaking free of your limitations. So how is this affecting the feminine? The first card for how this is manifesting for the divine feminine is emotional loss. So I know, as I said, a lot of people are being triggered and facing some heartbreak, or some of this has to do with the release of your fears, and so some things coming up again. What this really is about is healing. Yeah, there's this great pain, but then there's this energy spiraling out. This beautiful energy of our heart chakra when it's fully open. And so we've got to release the past. We've got to release the pain of the past so that we can, again, go back to that vibration and that love. And, for those in separation, that's, a big trigger. But more and more, we're releasing that. Again, it's like releasing attachment. So if you get a lot of signs and synchronicities about your twin, I'm not telling you to disregard that or to believe that nothing's going to happen. It's more about I trust in the universe to make everything okay. So I just have to live in the moment and let go of this pain around it. This emotional loss too comes just from the changes that are happening. And when we're going through so many changes, it creates fear, it creates anxieties. But it comes back to trust. Trusting in that. Trusting in spiritual union. That everything is going to be perfect. eventually. Stand Your Ground is the second card I pulled for how this is manifesting for the Divine Feminine. And it is like about finding strength. I don't really feel necessarily like standing your ground. You have to, reclaim your power from someone. Although for some of you that might be the case. I feel it more like, as I look at this, I'm feeling victory. Like standing there, powerful, in charge, victorious, prepared, like ready to fight on if need be, ready to move into the next phase. Again, like the guides just want to say, congratulations, like pat you on the back for all the work that you've been doing. It hasn't been easy, and you're being acknowledged for that. But begin to see yourself now as victorious. Like the momentum is unstoppable now. You can feel it in the energy. Things just continue to build and build and build. There's no stopping anymore. And that's because of all of our hard work. The romance angels say, stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So, yeah, like, keep believing. Keep believing in the future. Keep trusting. Keep embracing the abundance that is yours, the love that is yours. Know it. Feel it. It's coming. So there's no reason not to be optimistic about your future. So for the Divine Masculine, how this is manifesting for them. The first card is transformation. This is the Death card. So for the Divine Masculine, there's a lot. There's a lot of change going on. They're under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. I'm seeing it, hearing it from you guys. And I'm seeing like some twins that carry in the masculine energy primarily almost like kind of giving up for a moment, at least. Like it's like a lot of them are just being like, this is too hard, this relationship is too hard, I'm just gonna like leave it. Of course they can't, but that's what's in the energy, like that kind of trigger. Like they feel the challenge of the relationship. For some of them, it's almost like they're still in that 3D thinking that the challenge means it's not meant to be. So they still have to wake up, some of them, to the full truth of the relationship. But they're in that process. They're in this process of transformation and letting go, making changes in their life. What I'm also feeling is for them, it's like they can't do things the way they used to do it anymore. It just doesn't work. When they try to fall back into their old energy, it just doesn't work. So it's forcing them to do things differently. And for them, it's an uncomfortable place right now. So most of you watching this, you're more used to the changes and you're more used to the energy. But for your partner, they may not be so used to it. The second card for them was Triumph. So this is saying that they really need to pay attention. They need to stay focused. They need to have a plan. They need to know where they're going to go. Because the energies, if they're not careful, can like pull you all over the place. So for many of them, they're being called to just follow their guidance. They are working more with their intuition. Trusting their guidance is what I want to say. Like, that's the second thing. Like, okay, they're they can't do things the way they used to do it anymore. They're having to make the changes, and they're beginning to trust in their inner guidance as far as what the changes are. And that is a triumph. That is helping them move forward on things. So that's very good news. The Romance Angel card is let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Well, I don't think I need to say much about that. That's definitely one of the things that they have to let go of right now. And, you know, maybe for you listening, your inner masculine still needs to work on letting go of control too. So what is the future of twin flame unions? The card Light. Okay, there's a couple different things. The first thing is, like, there's a big shift in ascension. As I said, we're closing in on the Lion's Gate. That Lion's Gate energy, the Syrian energy, is already here. There's light coming in, but the light is getting stronger. As I said in my astrology for July video, probably within the next few days, next week, before we even get to the Leo new moon at the end of the month, we are going to be getting strong activations. And as we move towards the 8/8 portal date, the activations are going to be extremely high. That's why they're saying, focus on this. Focus on the spiritual union. Stay in your vibration. Stay in your knowing, because the activations are coming. And they're activations into our heart, into our Christ consciousness. This is big energy coming in. And they're saying, like, it's even going to be a bit of a sacrifice as we go through this portal and face these high energy shifts. The Romance Angel card is forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So again, more releasing, more healing of the past, more timeline shifts. This is going to be bringing in DNA activation. So make sure you take care of yourself over the next couple of weeks, because you may be experiencing things and you may be dealing with stuff coming up from the past again and dealing with all of these energies. For the Divine Feminine, what's coming up in the future, rest and rejuvenate. And that's because of the DNA activations. Okay, so resting and rejuvenating will help you stay balanced. And there is, more balancing of the masculine and feminine. There's more healing coming in of the masculine and feminine energies. I wrote a couple weeks ago about how the divine masculine and feminine are healing distrust. We're healing the abandonment wounds and issues between the two of us, or the two twins. So that's huge energy coming in, huge changes. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And so that might be one of the things that comes from this healing that we're going to be getting, is we're able to talk more openly with our twin flames. But I think for the divine feminine, it's like just more in our hearts, more open, more authentic. That's what's coming. And more empowered through embracing our divine masculine energies. For the divine masculine, what's coming up through these activations is prosperity begins. This is like a new chapter for the masculine, a new start. It's like there's a seed that's been planted and this seed is growing. Again, like I said, they're doing things differently. They have to do things differently. And this is enabling them to trust more in their inner guidance. And when they do that, they're grounding this. They're grounding more of this spiritual union from their side. And that will help pull the energies down. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. That's the Divine Masculines card. You know, as I said, they're following their inner guidance. They're beginning to tune into their higher self. They're allowing more of their divine feminine side to come out. And that's helping them make these shifts in their life. So really good cards, beautiful cards about the incoming Lionsgate energies. And I'm sure I'll be doing another reading as we get closer to the Lionsgate. But as I said, like, we just need to focus on love and trusting the universe in this ascension process. It's hard because there is no hard or fast rule about what's happening and timelines and any of that. We just have to trust. This Lionsgate is going to push the divine masculine in all of us. I'm just shuffling for a Journey of Love card. Wow. The Christ Flame, number 31. This is our Journey of Love card. What a perfect card for this reading. Within you burns the flame of the Christ. Beyond religion, this flame belongs to all hearts willing to receive the divine, opening to it as a lover would open the heart to receive the beloved. Though the awakening of the Christ within brings greater closeness to the divine and therefore greater love and depth of compassion, it too can bring sadness, righteous anger, and a passionate need to contribute positive healing action and change in the world. You may be an introspective soul who does this through mastering their inner world with meditation and yoga, raising your own vibration with absolute intent that this bring healing to the world around you. You may be an extroverted soul that thrives in sharing messages and living a life of dynamic action in support of the causes that are worthy and moving to your brave heart, capable of feeling divine outrage and responding with inspired action. You may be a combination of these soul types and choosing wisely what you consume, what companies you support, and what television you do or do not watch. What you read, voting for the life you want to have around you in the world through your actions, internal and external. This is the Christ flame igniting you, setting the world aflame with the fire of divine love. This oracle brings guidance that you are connecting with the universal Christ consciousness, and your heart is meant to awaken as a sacred heart, bearing the Christ flame of divine love in this lifetime. You are part of the wave of awakening happening on the earth now. You are exactly where you are meant to be and doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. Keep going. Love is more than words can define. It's a feeling which wells up inside and longs for release. It's a smile which starts in my heart and spreads across my face like a silly grin. It is a knowing so deep in my being that every cell speaks in a language only lovers know. And most of all, it is the beginning, the birth, the possibility, the promise of a tomorrow, the hope that grows into something we can only imagine. When hearts combine and love becomes more. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit choked up reading that card because I'm just feeling like the love from the other side and how much they really do care for us and support us, and the beautiful ascension energies that are going to be flowing to us and helping us bring this into this 3D world. And we're going to do that by releasing all attachment to it. So I'm sending you guys a lot of love. Remember to care for yourself with this incoming energy. And I will be back soon. Thank you so much.